Hello, and welcome to this video where I'm going to give you a brief introduction to what is HSC Health Science Ethics 375. Now, in this course, we're basically going to start out talking about science and specifically health science and ethics. And so from a very basic definition, science is how does it work? How does something work? And related to that, what is possible based on our knowledge of science and based on our knowledge of technology. In contrast, ethics looks at a slightly different approach of answering this question. Ethics is saying, should it be used? So should the health science technology or health science innovations be used and available to members of society? And so, again, I'm a science fiction and movie buff. And so Jurassic Park, the original one from many, many years ago, Jeff Goldblum as the mathematician, chaos theory scientist, Dr. E.M. Malcolm. He basically said in the movie, your scientists were so preoccupied with whether they could that they didn't stop to think if they should. And that's a theme in ethics and scientific ethics and health science ethics, is this idea that scientists, and I'm a scientist, I'm a biologist by training, we attempt to learn more about the world. We attempt to answer questions about how things work. But we don't necessarily make the decisions as to what should be done with that information. What should be done with the fruits of the benefits and the labor of science. And then for this course, we're taking a look at more than just science and ethics. We're going to be looking at the impact that science and ethics has on society. And so adding this in basically introduces the questions, who has access to it and who does it affect? So who has who has access to the new medical technologies that are available? Who has access to the new medical treatments? And who does it affect? Are there members of the population that are potentially vulnerable and have limited access to the benefits of science and technology, especially as we look at the disparities within the field of healthcare? And so a theme that we're going to take a look at throughout this course is just focusing basically at this intersection point of science, ethics, and society. And so as you're going through this course, I encourage you to think about who bears the burden of current policies, whose voices are excluded from decision making. What does equitable access actually look like in practice? And then finally, how do we balance individual rights with collective well-being? And so how do we, basically ensure that the ethical benefits of science are available to vulnerable members of the population, as well as those that are privileged in some way? So if we take a look at how this course is going to be set up, how it's going to be organized, we're going to start out with an overview of ethical systems. And so this is basically looking at why do different people and why do different cultures view the world differently? Why is it that something that is viewed ethically in one population or one community is viewed differently, potentially viewed as unethical by a different community? And so taking a look at how do others look at the world, but then to consider how do we look at the world. And we're going to do that in a couple of assignments when we consider what are our guiding principles and what is our own personal ethical system. Again, no right or wrong answers, but really thinking about how it is that we are approaching the world around us. What is it that is at our core, our ethical and guiding principles? And then after we've looked at this introduction to different ethical frameworks or ethical systems, we're going to be looking at a variety of topics related to the health sciences. And again, this is a goal to kind of introduce you to, potential controversies associated with health sciences and ethics and its impact on the community. And so we're going to be looking at topics related to human biomedical research, taking a look at aspects associated with the pharmaceutical industry, so drug development, drug testing, drug pricing, drug limitations, drug availability, different things like that. Take a look at organ failure and transplantation. And so what occurs when an organ fails? What do we need to be considering in order to do organ transplants? We have a number of people dying every day waiting for a transplant because there is a limited availability of these life-saving organs. Should we change the procedures involved with determining appropriate donors and providing it to the recipients that need it? Should there be different criteria for who is evaluated as the next person in line to receive an organ? Should it go to the person that's been there the longest? Should it go to the person that's been there the sickest? Or should it go to the person that has the best prognosis, the most likelihood of a healthy, long, healthy life as a result of receiving that organ? There are no clear answers to these things, and they're things that we need to be considering. And then finally, related to public health, taking a look at pollution and the impact of pollution on public health in very vulnerable communities. Okay, so if we take a look at how this course is going to be set up, I don't like exams for this course. What this course is really designed to make you think, really designed to make you think about what it is that is your core principles, what it is that you are thinking about these topics, and more importantly, what is it that is informing that decision? What are those pieces of evidence, the facts, the experiences that you've had that allows you to develop the viewpoint that you have? And so in some cases, throughout the course, we're going to have some group discussions or short essays in which I'm going to provide you with a prompt. And basically what I'm going to be looking at in your response to that prompt is, can you describe what it is that you think? And more importantly, not just what you think, but why do you think that? What are those pieces of evidence? What are the facts? What are those experiences that you've had that allow you or promote the viewpoint that you've developed? And again, keep calm. I don't like exams within this course because much of what we're going to be talking about does not have clear right or wrong answers. It's more important, from my viewpoint, it's more important that we think about what is your decision-making process, that you think about what is it that you're considering as you're evaluating evidence to make a decision about some of these topics. We're going to do some self-reflection activities throughout the course. So as mentioned previously, we're going to consider what are your personal guiding principles. And so what are those things that, I'll give you a video introduction to this later on. But what are those things that, you could put as your slogan, as you could put on your coat of arms, if we were to design it like that? What is what is your personal viewpoint? What are your guiding principles? Later on in the semester, after we've taken a look at a number of different ethical systems, I'm going to have you consider which of those systems do you align with. I'll be honest, I don't align clearly with one specific ethical system. I'm a little bit of a combination of two and potentially three different ethical viewpoints. And there's nothing wrong with that. But we need to consider that. We need to think about that, and we need to really evaluate what that ethical framework means as we interact with other people. And then finally, at the end of the semester, we're going to have a reflection paper when we think about our own position within society and how our past experiences, how our viewpoints, how our way of looking at the world impacts how we interact with others. And because this is a health science ethics course, how do these viewpoints impact how we're going to be interacting with vulnerable populations in the healthcare careers that many of you are looking forward to? The final project in the course is going to be a final advocacy project. So again, working away from or getting away from having exams, and so we're having op-ed and so opinion essay where you are going to be choosing a topic, and all three of these are going to be related to the same topic. You're going to choose a topic that is interesting to you, and then write an op-ed, which is basically a convincing and compelling argument for the general public in order to convince them of your position. And so it's not just saying this is my opinion, this is my position, it's based on my opinion, but what are those pieces of evidence that are available that allow you to make an informed decision and you think are going to be important for providing to others so that they can make an informed decision for themselves. The second assignment in the final advocacy project is going to be a letter to your elected representative. And again, you have to write the letter. You don't have to necessarily mail it, but asking your elected representative to consider your viewpoint, to act, to respond to your call to action, to support potentially a bill that's being debated in Congress. And then finally, the last assignment is going to be a public comment. So in many cases, when policymakers are considering changing a position or changing a rule, changing a law, changing a policy, they collect comments from the general population. And these are generally oral comments that are made in a public forum in which a person will get up, speak to the decision makers in a relatively short period of time, generally less than 3 to 5 minutes, to make their argument, to provide their evidence, and then ask their decision makers to act according to the call to action that they're going to be providing. Now, HSC, Health Science Ethics 375, fits within the Arcadia University curriculum, fulfills several curricular requirements, including with those the curricular requirements that it fulfills are the integrated learning experience, the cultural legacies, the crossing boundaries, and one of the combating anti-Black racism curricular requirements. And so if we take a look at this as a integrated learning experience, oftentimes this is going to be a university seminar, but in this HSC course, Health Science course, we're applying the same principles that provide this course with an integrated learning experience. And so the goal of the integrated learning experience is to make intellectual connections between academic disciplines. And so in this case, we're going to be looking at topics related to health science and combine that with philosophy and ethics as we think about how we can provide ethical access to these health science technologies and innovations and treatments in an appropriate and ethical way to address the health disparities that we're seeing as science is applied to communities. In terms of the cultural legacy, the goal of cultural legacy is to study the human experience and expression. And so in this course, we're going to be doing that by examining aspects of past cultures, focusing in primarily on religion and ethical systems. But basically understanding how past cultures and in many cases different societies, different groups around the world, different communities around the world use these ethical systems to make decisions for themselves. The Crossing Boundaries designation is within the curriculum designed to look at examining interconnectedness, interdependence, as well as inequalities and inequities within and among nation states of the world. Within this class, what we're going to be doing is focusing in on issues of social justice, social welfare, and economic rights, specifically within the healthcare field, the health sciences field, within and across national boundaries or borders. And then finally, the Combating Anti-Black Racism designation. In this, throughout the course, we're going to be considering how the science and ethics impact on vulnerable populations. But at the end of the semester, specifically, we're going to do a self-reflection activity that explores how one's social positioning, our own kind of membership within group identities shapes our worldview and how that potentially kind of controls how we interact with others around us. And so we're going to respond to individual, interpersonal, institutional, instructional oppressions undergirding anti-Black racism by basically learning about different situations that are current, that are ongoing, that are contributing to the health disparities within the world. And then ultimately, because this is a health science course, take a look at how you as students can affect change within your professional and personal communities going forward. And so basically taking these concepts of health science and ethics and making it an applied ethics class, to make it into more than just learning about a bunch of different things, but think about how it is that we can use this information to improve the quality of healthcare in the communities that we are going to be working for going forward. So as always, if you've got any questions at all, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. Thank you and have a great day.